must think you can't do no better. That's a mindset. So I need to bring John on up here because we're trying to stay on time. So John, you're on, bro. Give him a round of applause. Let's all get him
Are we live? Yeah. All right, y'all ready to talk mindset? Yeah. See, if you're going to change your life, you have to become a new person. If you are somebody, wherever you are now, wherever you are in your life, wherever structure, wherever juncture you are a culmination of the person you are. Everybody understand that? Yeah. So whatever you did or thought or said 2 weeks ago, 6 months ago, 1 year ago, that's why you're where you are today. But here is the caveat. If you don't like where you are, anybody there? That means you got to change. And some of us haven't made that decision and the understanding that we need to change. So first and foremost, what I want to talk to you today about is how do you start developing that mindset, number one. Number two, you have to look at where you are in this business and what you have. There's so many people that I see in my econ. They have no clue what they have. They have absolutely no clue. And that's one of the things that we want to make sure you understand today. See, you don't need to roll up in the door like you inferior. See, somebody's going to start talking to you about some other little deal. Where they're going to say, well, you need to flip houses. Well, you need to do this. I don't know. I'm going to show you some definite, distinct things today, and you can make a decision. So we're not here to say nothing bad about anybody. But here's what I want you to do. There's some books. The first thing you want to do is start reading. Turn the TV off. See, y'all act like I started cussing. Turn the doggone TV off. That's called the idiot box. See, that's why they call it television. They telling somebody else's vision. But what's your vision? Okay? See, that's what we got to get to. Okay? Now, we got to have a wealth mindset. So there needs to be a new and improved you. So number one, you need new information, don't you? Yeah. Because see, the way you are today is because of the information you had. So I say one good book is this one right here. This one is called Breakout by Joel Osteen. Do you want to break out or do you want to stay the same? Yeah. See, he talked about 5 key things. See, Betty got the book. See, those that's on my team, see, I'm a leader that teach my team something. See, a leader can be judged by what the team is doing. Is that correct? That's right. See, there's got to be some fruit. So this is one of them. Write it down. Write it down, write it down, write it down. Read 20 minutes a day. I understand that you're busy. Well, John, you don't know. You understand, I got this going on. I got that going on. Well, everybody got stuff going on. Okay? Here's another one. Destined to reign. Do you want to reign? Yes. You need to understand God's promises in your life. Quit running around talking about what the media told you, what your friends told you. They said, well, you can't do that. Broke Joe. I almost started cussing then. He started talking about what you couldn't do when you told him you was in business. And if you sat around, you start believing. But God told you you was amazing. Start acting like it. That's what we got to do. Everybody got it? Okay? Here's another one. You need to toughen up. Stop being weak. Don't be weak mindset. See, you got to be strong. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. And you got to be a good leader, a strong leader. I understood that I was not a good leader. I understood that I had to change. See, in order to become a good leader, you got to become a good what? Follower. So I had to learn something from this young man so I can teach it to every single one of you. Okay, so this book is Tough It Up by Claude Hamilton. And this is the last one I'm going to cover. What to say when you talk to yourself. That's the person that's talking to you all the time. Are you your biggest naysayer? Wow. See, you sitting there thinking, I don't know if I can do this. That's good. You sitting here saying, I don't know if they want to get in my business. A lot of people out here don't got no money to join my business. And you start believing. See, your mind believes whatever you say most. That's right. That's what you got to understand. So if you the only person talking to you all the time when you're sleeping, when you're up, your subconscious mind, what's going to happen? You're going to start believing it. You're going to start accepting it. And then your life is going to be what's in your heart. And we Shad Helmstetter. All these books can be purchased on your MyEcon website for 99 cents to about $5. If you're not worth 99 cents to $5, just get up and leave right now.
That's right.
We got to quit nickel and dime
Yes.
our business. We got to stop it. Okay? Now, guys, you have to be in this business. Now, we got a lot of money. We're going to show that and prove all that today. But you got to be in this business for more than just money. You got to be in business and you got to sell out for the crusade. We are on a mission and a crusade to change some people's lives. Now, I want you to think about something. Alvin has painted a picture of what personal financial success is. Everybody got that down pat, right?
Yes.
Do you understand that there's about 150 million people that's failed at that personal financial success and they need your help?
Yes.
Do you understand that there is no one else that is addressing this problem? I don't care what the company is. I don't care what kind of products they sell. They are not addressing this problem. Because the problem is most people, to do these other things, have to learn some skill sets that they don't have. It's going to take some time, and maybe they'll never get it because of circumstance or whatever. So we got to teach them a strategy where they can change because they can do 100% of what we're talking about. Everybody got it?
Yes.
So we got a huge deal. The average person is $15,000 in consumer credit card debt. Do you understand something? $250,000 when you start adding all these debts up. I was listening to a podcast with James the other day, and a woman got on the thing and she started talking about she was 38 years old and she had $120,000 in debt, and she was making $35,000 a year.
Wow.
The system is rigged. If y'all heard that thing that what's his name? Barry. What's the other one that was running with Hillary Clinton? Bernie Sanders. He said the system rigged. It's true. And they got this deal where you can't even file bankruptcy on stuff. They let you run up all this debt that's going to take you 30 years to pay off. And they say you cannot get some relief on it. That's a setup. That's a setup I ain't never heard of one. And you got the ability to give a system for almost free to solve the problem. See, you got to get up in a hurry and go get you some new people. You got to start, see, how do you start getting people that, see, a lot of people we're scared to talk to. And one of the reasons we're scared to talk to them is because you feel you got something that's inferior. See, you talking to somebody that you might know, and they might make $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year on their job. And you like, well, they make more money than me. I don't know, I'm scared to talk to them about my income. But here's the problem. They don't have any ownership. I don't care how much money they make. They have no ownership. They talk about they got it going on. Just as soon as somebody feel like that they don't like the job that you're doing, they gonna let you know who got it going on. The real person with the power is gonna let you know. Okay? So now, what is ownership? The ability to own future value without corresponding payment or effort. You own no future value on your job. I don't care if you've been there 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. They're not going to say, well, you done so good. You done made us so much money. We know you're ready to go ahead and retire. Well, just go ahead and just take this $1 million because you just did so good. As soon as you stop trading time for money, the money will stop fast and in a hurry. It's not going to stop just a little bit and they're going to gradually take it down, Trevay. It's going to stop next week. You got 7-day grace, and it's gone. Now, let me ask you something. Anybody here got furniture? Okay, got a question for you. rent-a-center? Or do you think it's better to own your furniture? Okay? Why? Well, if you rent it for rent-a-center, they own the future value, don't they? Even if you pay them for 50 years, you never own it. And to get the service or the value or the benefit, you have to keep paying. Okay? So, you think it's better to buy a sofa instead of rent one. Why? Because you can eventually do what? Pay for it. And then you can still get future service out of it without any corresponding effort. Correct? So it makes sense to own and not rent, right? Okay? I'll make sure I'm in the right room. What about your home? Do you want to own it? What if I told you that let's move out of the house that you live in right now. You own it. I'm going to move you into a nice little apartment, 2 bedrooms. You don't have to cut the grass or nothing. But you're going to have no equity, no tax advantages, and you never own it. How many people take that deal? Wait a minute. Nobody raised a hand on that deal. You're trying to get out of the deal, right? So if you're a renter, you want to get to something that you own, because why? You can one day pay it off. You can leave it to your children. You own the equity. Right? So you think it's better to do what? Own. Well, now, let's talk about renting. You got to keep expending time for reward. It requires continuous cash flow or time flow to maintain possession. I got that? See, you got to get to something. I'm getting ready to take you here. Renting has no future value or no equity for you. Here's the deal. Your job is renting.
Oh.
Why you rent yourself out? You rent yourself out at an hour at a time. You rent yourself out on salary every 2 weeks. You just got a longer contract. So if you think it's better to own than to rent, why are you renting for 40 years on your life?
Whoa.
See, you can't be talking about what you just don't understand. I got this going on and that going. See, it's going to happen whether you decide to do something or not. You can decide to build some ownership. You can decide to build some overrides. Yes, the grandkids going to do what they do. Yeah, you're going to have to help out. Somebody going to die. All this is going on. Well, I got youth softball. So what? Do you want some ownership?
Yes.
And some overrides? Well, they asked me that I want to work some overtime. You got to tell them, no. I want to build my business. See, we got to get there. And it's only when you get there that you change your life. Because now it don't matter what the circumstances are. You go out and build something that's bigger than you. And in order to stay in that fight, you got to understand the crusade. You got to love people. Now, if you don't like people, get out of this business. Because we in the people business. Everybody got it?
Yes.
Okay? Now, you rent yourself out by the hour or by the salary. Okay? Now, job. Here's what people try to do. They try to increase the payment that they make on the job by 1 or 2 methods. They try to increase dollars per hour. So they say, well, I'm going back to school. Well, that would make no sense. I'm going to go spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 just to go get a debt that I might not be able to pay off for the next 20 years. It takes you 20 years to get return on that investment? Come on. See, now y'all getting, now y'all need some ice, y'all need some ice. But we got to get here. If you going to build a business, you got to get here. See, if you understand it's better to own than to rent, you need to start talking about this to other people. You need to start talking about this to your children. Why are you so focused on the job? Why does your husband work a job? Why are you telling your kids to go get a job? Because you don't believe in ownership. Now, you don't have to quit your job, but you got to get a mindset to say, one day, I'm going to have my own stuff, and I'm just on borrowed time with y'all, And I'm trying to figure out who gonna fire who first.
That's right. Come on.
Now, they try to increase the amount of hours. They say, well, I'm gonna work overtime. That don't work. You're gonna pay more taxes. Everybody got it? Now, there's an end to the cost when you got ownership, but a continuation of the benefit. See, you can work that job, that good job. So you can say, well, I got a good job. You work 40, you make $4 million. Then you end up with nothing because you have no ownership. You have no overrides. Understand this. It's not just about the people. So don't be scared. Don't be scared to talk to people about this. I don't care how much money they make. Look at the people that make 30 million, 20 million, 5 million, 10 million in the NFL, and they end up broke. They have no ownership and no overrides. That's the problem. The money stops in a hurry, and they file bankruptcy 78% of the time within 24 to 48 months. Now, what you gonna do? Are you gonna get out here and fight? Or are you gonna keep solving your problems with just making excuses and saying it's okay to be mediocre? It's not okay. We are special people. And I believe that I was called to do this. But here's the other thing. I think every single one of you was called to do this. And you got to find some people who want to find some people who want to find some people. So what the person that joined you last week quit? I had somebody join me and cancel within 48 hours. So what? That's on them. That's not an indictment on you. It's not an indictment on my econ.
All right.
What you gonna do to change your life? Okay? You make $100,000 a year in my econ, you get that money forever because you own it. Build sweat equity with us. And not only do you change your life, you change the legacy of your children.
Yes.
You change the legacy of your children's children. Now, if that's not worth a crusade, if that's not worth getting up and fighting, just get up and quit now. Please. So I can stop trying to figure out what you're going to do. Now, let's talk about these overrides. J. Paul Getty said, I'd rather be paid 1% of 100 people's efforts rather than 100% of my own. He understood overrides. At the time he made this statement, he was one of the wealthiest people on this planet. He understood it. But see, nobody sat down with you and said, you need to get you some overrides. They said, you need to get you a good education. Well, that's all cool, but ain't no overrides. I want to know what overrides are. See, overrides is the most stable form of income. You alone is 100% of your effort is the most unstable form, supposed to be in there, of income ever created. That's the most unstable form of income ever created. Why? Because it's based on you. As soon as you stop, it stops. As soon as something happens to you, it stops. And guess what? When you just work your job, you own the most unstable form of income. And then you don't own it. Somebody can walk in and tell you, hey, we don't like you. I had 2 instances in my life where they said, well, we're going a different route. They fired everybody in the office, Roy. And then they brought their own new team in. They didn't care if I had a daughter. I had a young daughter at that time. I had, all kind of little bills and stuff, needed a place to stay. They said, well, so what? That ain't our problem. You want to stay in that business? You want to spend 30 or 40 years of your life selling out to that? I could do it. I can do it. Then they said, you got to make a decision between your job and your business. That weekend, they never saw me again. That was my decision. I'm not saying you got to do that, but that's what I did. They told me I couldn't take the time off to come to the conference. I was going down to see Alvin Curry many, many years ago. I didn't know who he was. And they said, well, John, you got to make a decision. We need you this weekend. I was talking to somebody. They said their job wanted them to work instead of coming to this conference. Kimberly. She told them, y'all can stick it. I'm going to the conference. See, that's a millionaire in the making. You got to make a risky and a bold decision to make a bold vertical move in your life. And this is sold with a false sense of security. Well, I get my check every week. The elite have created this system so they can control you. You think you have security, so you just keep coming back. So they pay you just enough to keep coming back. You work just hard enough to keep from getting fired. And that's the relationship you have with your job for 30 or 40 years. They pretend to pay, and you pretend to work. See, if they teach you about ownership, you become dangerous. Because now you can fend for yourself, and nobody can control you. See, if I go try to get a job today, I was talking to James about this, they look at my resume and say, no, we're not hiring him. He's been out here running in the field wild for 6, 7, 8 years. He ain't had to answer to nobody. They know as soon as they say something I don't like, I'm going to tell them something. They know. They said, no, let's go this other one that's needed. And let's get them to build our business and build our asset. And we give them no ownership. Okay? That's most stable form of income. We get some override. It works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never stops, never get tired. Alvin made some money today. He made some money last night. John made some money. I make money when I'm sleeping sometimes. I make money when I'm eating sometimes. I started showing my wife how these ownerships and override work. She said, I like this. You know, we first got together, you know, I was spending a lot of time with her. She was wondering if I had a job. She was like, well, you know, you keep saying you ain't got to do that today. She's like, I said, no, well, I'm getting to know you. We're fine. We all right. Okay? So if you believe that ownership is better than renting and 1% of 100 people is better than 100% of one, my econ is ownership and overrides on steroids. Okay? Why is that? Because you can override other owners and other overriders. You not only just override people that just doing something, you can override some people that own something and build an equity. You building an appreciating asset that you can override other owners. That's the best pay system in the world. Your job is not the best pay system in the world. And you got to get to that mindset. Why? Because you got, so when some stuff comes up and they start talking about you got to do this or whatever the case may be, you say, you make your business a priority somewhere instead of keep putting it off and putting it on the back burner. Talking about, well, you know, I really like my job. So what? They ain't got no ownership or overrides. Why you kissing their butt? That's the reality. They don't care about you. If they can figure out how to get rid of you, I guarantee you they will.
Yes, they will.
They planning and trying to figure it out right now. And you talking about we, us. You ain't a part of the we or us. Here's what you need to do. You need to go and say, I'm going to become an infinity in my economy. You want to develop 7 to 10 key leaders, which is other infinities. But look what happens. You got yourself 10 here. They're going to get 10, that's 100. They're going to get 10, that's 1,000. You got 1,110 EVP infinities. That's 800 people on each one. That's how many people you got at $8 a pop. You got $7 million a month. What you going to do? Are you going to keep talking about I love my job? If you do, that's fine. Keep on doing it. But they ain't going to give you a shot at nothing like this. Not even a shot. Don't even have a conversation about getting some stock. See, if I go to an interview, they ain't going to like me. I ain't going to start talking about how much y'all pay per hour. How many stocks y'all going to give me? How much preferred stock? How much voting rights? How much ownership do I get? They can say, well, get him out of here. Get him out of here, get him out of here, get him out of here. Okay? So, that is the end of my deal. Alvin took 5 of my minutes and I got us back on time.